Hey everyone, so I decided to make my first wooden tobacco pipe, and this is more or less what came out. I wanted to show you with a couple of videos, and for the majority they're going to be pictures on a slideshow of the progress. This isn't the finished product you're looking at, but this was shortly after the staining process. Just wanted to show you the grain and just the overall look of the pipe. Here I started, everything was done using a single chunk of oak, and as I do every project, I start doodling on a piece of paper and then transfer the design over to the workpiece, and this is what came out. Once you start labeling where what the waste is, you take your saw and you start just removing it until you've got somewhat of the shape that you're looking for, and this is where I arrived. I then took my chisels and started chiseling away additional waste and began on shaping its three-dimensional aspect. Keeping the workpiece fastened to my workbench was kind of a challenge, but if you're gonna do this, I recommend you use those holdfasts and the wooden working vise to help you. Don't ever try to do this. Don't try to chisel anything unless it's safely secured onto your workbench. It can actually be pretty dangerous. I could have used a phosphor bit to drill the cavity on the actual bowl, but to remain consistent with my technique, I just did it all by hand. To give it a darker color, I used some Danish oil with a walnut stain, and just gave it a single coat of stain and sanded it down pretty well. Started off using 120 grit, moved up to 150, 220, and eventually 1500 grit using brie wax to give it that nice, soft, and pleasant to the touch feel that you'd expect from a tobacco pipe. Notice how I stayed away from staining the inside of the bowl. For one thing, it's unnecessary because it's all going to get eventually covered by tobacco pitch, tar, I mean. But I don't think it's actually safe to add stain inside where tobacco will be lit by fire. So if you're gonna do this, please don't stain the inside of the bowl. I used a torch to dry and speed up the process and just help the stain adhere to the wood surface. I was very pleased to see how much the stain and the sanding brought out the grain on the piece. It looks really fancy, even though it was just a piece of scrap wood that I had laying around the workshop. And then to finish out the project, I went ahead and made a base or stand for the tobacco pipe using the same wooden species and using the same finish, and there it goes. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button.